Welcome to Outdoor Exploration. I'm Emily, and today we are looking at the Lower Mount Gardiner Mine Adit on Bowen Island, Necessitated. So this whole side of this mountain has been explored for various mineral interests, I guess for maybe 100 years or so, at least. And this is one of the mine adits that's been put in here, which is like a little test mine. There are a couple more further up the hill and a little hole right above this on that rock up there that it only goes a couple meters in. But this one is the first that you come to on the path, the most visited by other people, and in my opinion, most interesting for its natural inhabitants. But just to give you a little background, these mines, I can't remember when, but maybe 1920, sometime around there, 08, can't remember, sometime in the beginning of the 20th century, people were exploring for, I think, gold primarily, but also lead, silver, and I think now potentially quartz. There is a vein apparently in this mountain, or probably a few of them, and that's what they were after. And clearly they didn't get very far, because although the highest adit up the mountain has a little bit more going on, it's a much deeper mine, and it had a little rail track with the remains of a rail cart outside now. They didn't go very far with their plans. However, these are called the Bonanza mines, and there is now the Bonanza Resource Company or something like that who owns the rights to at least some of them, if not all of them. And I think they're after quartz, but as far as we know, nothing has ever happened here, and I hope it stays that way, quite frankly. Otherwise, I believe this whole area is crown land. So yeah, that's a little bit of our pseudo mining history here on Necessitated, Bowen Island. So I have with me my trusty headlamp strapped to my wrist, and I'm hoping to find some of the mine inhabitants. As you can see, there's a creek here that flows out. A bunch of kids I work with actually dug this a few years ago, and it has clearly been maintained by various people over the years. It keeps being redug, so thank you, all you people who keep digging this drainage creek for the mine. There's still a lot of water in there, so we have our boots, but let's go in and see who else loves the water. On a hot summer day, this is one of the best places to go. So one of the first things that I usually find when I come in the mine are these cave crickets, which a lot of people think are spiders, but they're not. They're crickets. If you look up close, they're clearly crickets. They have 6 legs and 2 unbelievably long antennae, which are, what would I say, like 4 times the length of their body? 5 or 6 maybe even. That's their body. With their leg span, they're, I don't know, 1.5 times their leg span, the length of those antennae. And I've seen them mating here, and if you look really closely, the females actually have long ovipositors that stick out the back. They're about longer than my finger if I put my finger up to them, including their antennae. Their bodies are bigger than my fingernail, but they're so cool. And here we have a little collection of them. So in this water down here are quite often frogs and salamanders and rough-skinned newts. And here on the wall is our first cave inhabitant. I don't want to scare him away, but I don't know if you can see him here. This is a red-legged frog. Not a gigantic one, but a medium-sized one. And I would go further along, see what else I can find. I'm really careful when I'm walking along. People have put logs here for others to walk on because of all the standing water here. But, oh, another frog sitting on the wall, a smaller one. If you aren't careful, you can easily step on these frogs, and I don't want to injure anybody, or salamanders, and newts. Let's see. Oh, there's a frog sitting right in the water. Hello, lovely. These are all red-legged frogs, who I believe are still blue listed in this area, or maybe in general. And our island actually has quite a good population of them. So we're lucky here, and hopefully we can keep it that way. Oh, look what I found. This little yellow-orange bellied rough-skinned newt. Whoa, careful, careful. It's really hard to hold him safely with one hand. But just so you know, before I picked him up, I washed my hands well, and I will wash them after, because rough-skinned newts have a toxin on their skin, which bothers some people. I've never had a problem with it, but just in case. I'm putting him close to the water because as I'm watching him, he doesn't move his right front arm very much, and I'm concerned he's injured. So, what I'll do is put him back in the water right where he came from. There you go, sweet. And hope he's okay. So this mine adit being a cave now, like so many natural caves, it has stalactites. And the question is, how do you know if they're stalactites or stalagmites? My mother told me when I was little, when the mites go up, the tights go down. I have never forgotten that. So these would be stalactites hanging off the ceiling, and you can actually feel them. They have this, a little crumb came off. They're some sort of mineral that gathers with the water and slowly drips along. Interesting. There are also all sorts of kind of glistening areas on the rocks over here. I don't know what they are, some water or liquid anyway, that comes out and settles there, or possibly just humidity from the air. Sometimes, oh, here's another stalactite, which has a drip on the bottom. There, oop, I captured it. Sometimes I actually find little sort of blue shimmery deposits here. I have no idea what any of this stuff is, but I think it's interesting. Here it says either line 40 or 140 spray painted on the wall. Has something to do with the mine prospecting, I guess. Look what we found. I have no idea what this is. I think it's a mineral deposit, but it's just interesting and beautiful how it's so orange and lumpy. Kind of looks like a fossil, although I'm 100% sure it's not. I love it here where the roof opens up. Roof, ceiling, whatever I should call this. So I have reached a point where the water dries up, although it's dripping here, and up ahead. There still are puddles, but they're only, a centimeter deep or so. So I'm not seeing any animals here. Let's go see what else is ahead. So, I've reached the end of the longest tunnel of this mine. I don't know if you call it a shaft when it's just an adit, but there seems to be yet another piece of garbage, which seems to be a chunk of concrete in here. I have no idea why people bring all this sometimes very heavy garbage in here, but they do. Anyway, I love this end of the mine, although there are usually not many animals around here. Sometimes you'll find the odd spider or cricket, but not much else. I love it because it's dark, and I'd like to give you a taste of that. Not only because it's so dark, that literally once we turn the light off, I can't see my hand 5 inches in front of my face. But it echoes, as I'm sure you can hear. So let's just take, I don't know, 5 seconds to experience this dark on film. You'll be looking at black, but I'll still be here. Isn't it just great? Ooh. Ooh. Sometimes I sing here. I won't force you to listen to that, but you should try it yourself. That was that. So that was the lower mine adit on Mount Gardner, and I hope you found it interesting. Lots of people are in here. If you do end up going in this or another adit, please be careful where you step. That little rough-skinned newt that I found, I think, who knows how he became injured, but I do think his little right arm was giving him some trouble, and who knows, maybe he was stepped on, maybe someone kicked a log that crushed him. So even a cold, unwelcoming seeming mine is a wonderful habitat for animals and some fungi and things like that. And we can preserve those places too. Happy exploring.